Hello, hello. It is Monday, which means I'm here live. We are early today. I told you before I'm going to be coming up whenever I feel inspired. And today I feel inspired to talk about greatness and smallness. And about the weather. Okay, it's August and I'm wearing a sweater. What's up with that? Not enjoying the hot, but certainly not ready for it to be fall yet. So praying for some more sunny days before the cold weather hits. Anyway, I see there's a couple of you out there. Just want to say hello, and I'm going to swipe this to the left and hopefully see comments. And feel free to send a comment so that I can see if I'm seeing them and they're working. Any likes or loves that you want to send on there. Hello, Olga. Hello, Rosa, all the way out in Spain. Hope it's sunny and beautiful there. We are talking about greatness and smallness today. Some of you might have seen the quote that I've sent out and posted recently. You cannot see your greatness until you break through your smallness. And yeah, maybe that's not totally clear what that is. What does that mean, your greatness or your smallness? Hello, Tamara. Thanks for joining us. I had a reader comment on that and say, well, I'll never see my greatness because I'm just living as an instrument, obviously meaning an instrument of God. And you know, that's an interesting perspective, but I feel like it's not actually serving God in your greatness, in your highest potential, when you live as that, trying to exercise your free will. That's what God gave you, to live in your greatness. So what is greatness? Greatness is not your ego. It's not about claiming, hey, I'm so great, I'm so fabulous, look at me, being on the top of the pile or the number one slot or any of that to be in your greatness. What I define greatness as is how God sees you. When God looks at your spirit, how does God see you? And that's where your greatness lies. That is your highest potential, because God always sees you in your highest potential light. And Mother, Father, God, when they turn and peer upon us, and we're usually in our smallness. We don't want to be seen. We don't want anybody to be judging us or looking at us or knowing our weaknesses. With that x-ray vision that God has, maybe we feel like they're going to see our skeletons in the closet, our shadows, all our ugly bits. And you know what? We are loved warts and all. Mother, Father, God is always there supporting us, always turning and seeing us in our highest potential and desiring for us that we find our own highest potential, that we actually can see that. So in my own journey, just thought I'd share, I've probably only glimpsed that version of what God sees maybe 3 times. It's becoming more often, but it took me a long time to see it the first time. And I had done a lot of interpersonal work already. And I was laying, it was actually in Rennes-les-Bains in France. I was laying on the couch and just torn up about something. I just had a big breakthrough. And all of a sudden I was closed and I was in this beautiful space and I felt really cocooned and being loved by God. I felt my angels around, and in that space all of a sudden I had a glimpse of the highest, purest form of myself. And then it broke me down further, because I thought, oh my God, that's really me. That's the essence of my spirit and what is my potential. Like, that's where I can go. I'm not just me and all these wounds and all these scars and emotional crap and bad days and bad hair days and whatever else they are. And it was such a beautiful realization, and it seems to always happen when I've allowed myself to go through a breakthrough. And that breakthrough is always part of my smallness. So what is our smallness defined as? Our smallness is any fear that keeps us from going into that full potential of living to our highest capacity. That glass box of limiting self-beliefs that we create around ourselves that definitely doesn't let us out, doesn't let us expand and be all that we can be. It's that part of ourselves that lets that little voice in that stops us from doing something that we're really passionate about, that says, oh, no, I can't do that. It's the lack of self-esteem. It's the, the self-worth chinks going, oh, no, that's not you. That's our smallness. That's anything that is that little voice in your head that is shutting you down from moving forward into something you really want. It's that little voice that keeps you from even knowing what you want. It's the mouse on the treadmill that's saying, this life is good, this life is okay, I'm content, I'm comfortable. That's smallness. When you're in your comfort zone, you know you're in trouble, because that is living small. And the plan for you is for you to come to this sphere of existence and actually find your greatness, or as much of it as you can in one lifetime. Can you actually allow yourself to recognize some of your smallness so that you can break through it? Because as you do, when you chink away at all that smallness, when you take one little chunk out of it, you're actually one step closer to greatness. And maybe it'll take lifetimes to get there. Maybe it will be a lot of years in the spirit realms of actually working on it. But just maybe, if you're really diligent and really focused and really desirous of getting there in this lifetime, it's possible. I truly believe that. And so my whole line of work, my whole passion is to help people not only recognize and see their smallness, what their limiting beliefs are, what's holding you in that box, in that pattern, in that stuckness. I mean, we've all been there. We all know what it feels like to be stuck, to feel like we're on a treadmill, that we're, just getting up and going to work and going to the grocery store and, oh, we're going to go spend the weekend with the family again. Or, whatever is that rote pattern that's not joyous, it's not passionate, and it's just existing in survival. And that's where we stay small. So how do we start becoming aware of the little smallnesses, the little things that need to be chinked away? One link in the chain. There's this big long chain between my smallness and my greatness, and I'm just going to work on the next link, because that's all I can work on. I've got to keep it here in front of me, one step at a time, because if I look out to how God sees me, like when I got that glimpse, it terrified me. I was like, on one hand, blown away that, wow, my essence is so incredibly beautiful. And that's what God sees when he looks at me. He doesn't see all the warts and, the terrible thing I did to someone in my childhood, and how I treated that guy last week, or, the guy I yelled at the stoplight that was irritating me, the way he was driving. I get on myself. I get judgy and beat myself up for all those little things I do. But when we start becoming conscious of it and go, okay, so why do I say that? Why do I allow that to frustrate me? What's that guy doing that's triggering me? Because it has nothing to do with that other person. So my smallness is believing that every other person is responsible. That's when I'm a victim. That's true smallness too. So how can I turn that mirror and reflect it on myself in any given situation? So even as simple as I'm driving along and I'm, that guy keeps pulling into my lane or not letting me over. That's a big one of mine. I try to be really conscious and let people in when they need to, and I don't feel like I get that treatment in return. So where is that bigger injury within me? Where is it that I don't have a belief that I'm going to be treated equally to what I treat people? So if that guy's driving along and he's not letting me in fact, as I put my blinker on, he's speeding up to keep me from doing it. You know what? It has nothing to do with that guy or that lady. They're not even conscious of what they're doing probably. They're daydreaming, listening to a song, driving along. They don't even know I'm trying to get in the lane. And yet I'm frustrated and yelling at them because they're not letting me in the lane. So really it's about me. In all those little situations that life brings us, that's God's law of attraction. That's how he designed this universe. Every little tiny trigger is our opportunity to look in the mirror and say, what's this really about? And every word that I say to that person, I need to turn and reflect back to myself. Every judgment that I'm throwing energetically at that person, I need to turn and look at myself and go, okay, where's my mirror? What about that situation is irritating me? So for me, when I'm driving, there's a bigger issue there. It's about not being treated with the same respect that I try to treat others with. So where in my childhood does that go back to? What thread do I have to trace back to get to that? To find out where that piece of smallness began in me? Where that limiting belief, that structure came into being around me that said, you're not worth being treated as well as that guy. Because It's got a root somewhere in my childhood. It's got a root somewhere, maybe for some of you, you believe it's in a past life. Wherever that is, there's a root in our soul that has to be exposed in order to be released. And that link of the chain can be taken off. And then we're that tiny bit closer to our greatness and what God is seeing within us. So I encourage you all to just start looking in those mirrors, start seeing and reflecting on where your smallnesses are, catch yourself in it, and then allow yourself to move forward and pray if you need to be shown with humility what that's about. What can I go forward with to release that link of the chain and show me, get me one step closer to my greatness? Because once again, greatness is not about living, being above, better than, superior to, in any means, to anybody else. It's about living in your full, highest potential and seeing yourself how God sees you. And when we're all fully living in our angelic bodies in the angelic realms, that's when we're going to be truly in our greatness. But we can't get there until we see and break through the smallnesses. And that's my hope for you is today. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet on that. I have no idea how long I've been talking because it was just in a passionate place about it. So I'm working on sharing my passion, and that's something that I've been small with before. I have not gotten very vocal. I have not spoken out except to groups that were accepting to what I had to say. So these lives are going on my mainstream. I want the world to see them and to know who I am and what I believe and what I want to share with them. And for those of you that it's resonating with, if you're needing help to see those smallnesses, to pull them out, break through them, that's one of the things I do. That's what I'm here for. So I do one-on-one sessions. I have a Transformation Springboard program that's a 12-week, 6-session program that lets us dive into those, lets us get you that much closer to your greatness. And I know it's got profound results for all the people that I've gone through it with. So if that interests you, please feel free to direct message me or email me through invokehealing.com or thedragonwithin.com, however you want to get a hold of me. But I'm here to do that. I'm here to help and take us all closer to our greatness and hopefully give you a glimpse into how God sees you. Have a wonderful Monday, and hopefully the sun will be shining and warmer wherever you are. I think the sun's trying to break out now, and I'm really happy about that. So thanks for tuning in. I love you, and a big shout out to those that are watching the replay later. I appreciate all those that came on live, and I really appreciate those that are tuning in later, and I hope this message hits home and gives you maybe something to think about, maybe something to pay attention to when you get one of those little frustrating situations during the day, maybe something to work on changing or shifting. So we'll see you next time. Bye.